Everybody's dancing to the music tonight. We have Back to the Player's Edge for Thursday night with our special guest. We're just going to call him Big Money Man because he wins nothing but big money races. John Ortiz from Oaklawn Park. John, how are you doing, Big Money Man?
Hey guys, hi. Thank you for having me here. And man, we're doing great. It's we're getting ready for the big day, Derby Day. Everybody's excited for it. So no, we're doing great.
Yeah, you are doing great. Let's see, it's 2021 was your record-setting year. You clocked in with a little bit over $2.6 million in winnings. We're only, let's see, January, February, March. We're only 3 months in, and you're already clocking in at about 1.5. So it looks like you're going to blow 2021 away. What do you attribute the rocket ship success to this year?
You know what? And it's a good question. I will always give credit when credit is due, and it's just all about a team effort. Right now, I have uh, from the bottom up. I have a great crew, hot walkers, grooms, riders, especially riders. They do a great job. They're on the horses. They know what it is. I've been in that situation before. That's where I got, my turn into horse racing, where I figured out where my best abilities were. And so being able to ride the horses and having a good rider, big attribution to the team. And then you got your assistant trainers. I have very good assistant trainers that been with me from the very beginning. Lindsay Reynolds, she started off with me in 7 horses back at Oakland my first year here. She was grooming, walking, helping me do whatever we can, and I was grooming and walking too and riding. And right now she's one of my leading assistant trainers, where she's in charge not just in the barns and helping make a lot of decisions, business decisions in the barn, how to handle help, ordering things. And then I got a new assistant trainer that I hired, Felipe Nichols, who's got a very good resume as far as he used to train on his own, been in California. He's worked for very big trainers in the past, and he's a savvy guy that helps the barn out just because he cares. Everybody in our barn cares, and then you have the owners. Without the owners, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. This is a sport of kings, and we're very fortunate to have a lot of people that can support that.
So you have some kings in the sport. So one of the things you mentioned is your staff. And I read somewhere that you pay your staff a little bit differently than everybody else. Can you walk us kind of through that?
Yeah. So I mean, I worked through the track different times in this industry. You back in 2000 it was different. Back in 1990 whatever it was different. Back in the 80s it was different. And I've seen. I worked with a lot of people that did a lot of different things. Bill Mott was very generous. He had a really good stakes program. Then you have working with Grand Motion. I learned how to manage people and how to pay them very well as well. And with Kellen Gorder, I learned how to become a team player. It was a very good experience with all these 3 guys. I mean, and many other trainers that I worked through. Just learning the importance of how to treat your help, and me being part of the help back then. I understood what I did like and what I didn't like, what I needed to motivate me, what I don't need me. What I don't need, being pushed or forced to do something. Or so I learned a lot of different things on how to manage the ability to manage people. And then I realized that I worked my best when I was happy, when I didn't have to worry about my paycheck, when I didn't have to worry about simple, like just regular day to day stuff. But I was a young 20-year-old kid back then when I didn't have anything that I had to, any responsibilities. And when I turned around and I started hiring people, I realized I was hiring grown ups. I'm hiring people that have families. I'm hiring people that are trying to provide not only here but back in their homes, in their native homes, Mexico, Guatemala. I mean, people just you hire people from anywhere. I have a couple of people that I support here locally in Arkansas, and I figured the best way to do it is to take care of them, because once you take care of people and they're not worried financially of what their check's going to look at the end of the week, or what's going to happen at the end of the year, or will they have a job. I gave them a little bit of job security. You come to work for me, you get this a salary, whether we have these amount of horses or we don't. At the end of the year, you'll get a bonus. And so basically, I realized that once I took this, what's going to happen week to week, month to month, I realized these guys, all they want to do is work with horses. They want to take care of the horses for you. And now they've proven to me that once you're focused on what you want to do and not focused on where your money's going to come from, these guys, the results speak for themselves.
They're willing to run through a wall for you, so to speak, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And then it's not that. I mean, it's a big loyalty game. It's again, I've been through a lot of barns. I've seen people. I've seen how barns operate. And I think it's time for a little change. And I think, we got to recognize that without the people that work for us, this game isn't what it is. And right now, especially after COVID or during COVID, where it's hard to find people. I mean, nobody wants, everybody's either whatever else happened in the COVID, we couldn't find help. They realized that, these are important people in our lives.
Indeed. I want to introduce you to another important person in our lives. Oh, not Terry, Sean. Sean, how are you tonight?
I'm good, and I'm glad I'm important. Hi, John. So you had mentioned, and I'm sure you were tired with this week. So what's your schedule like on a week like this when you have 3 horses running on Saturday and they're all big races? Or you actually have 4 horses running, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the schedule for week to week, it's pretty much the same. I know that my races we're running on the weekends. You start from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's always the weekend. Those are our game days. And this is a sport, and I used to play sports here and there. I played a little bit of soccer, tried a little bit of football. We know what a sports is like, right? So we understand that game days are Saturdays, game days are the weekends. So busy weekends, like any other sport, this is game day. So it's busy. I got to do homework. We got to read PPs. I got to make phone calls. I got to, make sure our horses are ready to run. They're eating right. They're sound and happy and healthy. So it's always busy. But, before then, it's the same thing. You just got to wake up in the morning. You're doing 5:30 to 11 training. Then you got vet work, or you got feeding time. There's a lot of things in between. You got to get, shoers. You got blacksmith, changing shoes every 3 to 4 weeks. So it's pretty busy. Right now, it's just more like hurry up and wait, because I'm ready to get this weekend over with.
Yeah.
So Terry is important. So we'll bring him back. Terry, how are you tonight, my man?
I'm good.
Hey, Terry.
And, hi, how are you, John? Listen, I completely agree with you on how you treat your employees. I had a business for 37 years, and I came to learn those lessons pretty early in my business. And so it was a pretty successful business. But I did have a question. I'm just curious about what is either the horse or the race that you've really liked that you've won so far. It's been your favorite.
Oh man, that's a good question. It's a little weird because I still think of my career still in the beginnings. So like every race is always meaningful. I have a lot of meaningful races, very special races here and there. I won my first. I won the winning colors with a filly. I claimed for 16,000 with Tyler Bays. He's a friend of mine, and before that, I think he's a nephew to Gary Stevens, who rode Winning Colors. So and then Gary Stevens won my one of my first stakes races in Louisiana, in the Louisiana Ladies Turf Classic down there, and that was incredible to have Gary Stevens win a stakes race for me. It was just like mind blowing It's very special. I won my first stakes race with the same filly in Sam Houston with David Cabrera. I mean, there's just so many great memories right now up until this point, and I think they're only going to get better. You guys had Kylie Jordan on last night, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you enough. I told this girl over and over again, like the last 2 weeks, that her race that she won for me was probably one of the best races, one of my most celebrated races that I've had with her. Just because I asked her, I told her, look, I had to run the filly in this race. She's more of a 2-turn horse. I told her, I was like, I needed to run her because I want her. She hasn't run in 2 months, so I wanted her to run her here, and then send her to Keeneland so she could do a 2-turn race. And I said, be patient, let her run her race. All I want to do is I want to see you finish the race. She did more than that. She came out, split horses, won the race. I mean, it was incredible. I thought that was a very special win this year. And then on top of that, not to try to take away from anything, though, I mean, I won my first stakes race at Oaklawn this year with Garhol with an Archibred. And a very incredible Archibred who's in this weekend on Saturday, speaking of. So it's, I won a race for Mr. John Ed Anthony with a sweet horse that we call Sweet Potato. His real name is Rolling Fork. And that was his 270 win, all-time record-breaking win for Mr. John Anthony. And that's important too. There's just so many good wins and memories that you make in this industry that it's hard to top them off, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like they all kind of intertwine in some ways together as well. And then we have our man, Mission Impossible, Tom. How are you tonight, Tom?
I'm here. Hi, John. I have a question with you regarding 2-year-olds. You're starting to get some 2-year-olds, probably. What information do you look from the farm or from where they're coming from to help prepare them to get to the races? And do you attend the sales or anything like that to see what may be something you would like to work with?
Yeah, so as far as young horses, I think it's actually one of my strongest assets. I mean, it's just one of the things I really focus on. It's not a new thing for me. I came on the Bill Mott. To me, the thing when I grew up, because I grew up in Bill Mott's barn. To me, two young horses were 2-year-olds that were breezing 3/8, half mile. They were this big, they were breezing, and I seen them year after year until I started riding for Bill Mott. And then I started feeling what 2-year-olds felt like, young horses. So thing with Grand Motion, same thing, But when I moved to Lexington with Kellen Gorder as his assistant at Keeneland, Kellen Gorder is a phenomenal horseman. When it comes down to young horses, man, this guy just blew my mind. I'm forever grateful for being under his wing. But the horsemanship that I learned from Kellen Gorder is unique. It's one of a kind. I think it's a secret that I have that nobody else has on the racetrack right now. Just the patience that he had with these horses, the ability to understand a young horse was incredible. And I took that on with him. And so I'm very familiar with young stock. I have a very high percentage with 2-year-olds or first maidens and stuff like that. And when I was with Kellen, we focused on that. And, I took that on and try to make it even better now. As I'm taking it on under my own, as I'm on my own trainer now. Every year we have 2-year-olds. So the 2-year-olds last year, I think when I left Oaklawn, and I got to Keeneland, I ended up with about 28 2-year-olds. And, for the majority, I think we won with all of them already. And obviously you put them in different levels. And, one of the 2-year-olds is BARBER ROAD, just see the ability to improve, to give a horse confidence, and horses that come from farms. Most of the horses that I've had have come from my dad down in Ocala. He starts a bunch of our horses for WSS, and we have a really good connection there. And my dad's just a sharp young 2-year-old trainer. He sends these horses ready for me. Shoot, I mean, he just turned around and pinhooked the horse. It run Happy Colt in OBS March sale for 370,000. You know, we bought him for 12.5. So, you know, we got a very good knowledge for young horses. We got a good indication. We have a good understanding of young horses, and it starts with my dad being able to break them, but then you have a very special person that's always in the background that you don't hear much from, and that's the bloodstock agent. And, you know, Jared Hughes, he's been helping me get clients and get these young horses into the barn, and he's done nothing but a fantastic job. Everything that he's picked out for us has turned out to be a winner. We don't really see too many losing 2-year-olds where we, you know, break the bank or anything. It's like it's the perfect recipe that we have right now for our 2-year-olds, for our young horses.
So that brings up a question for me, because one of the things we're thinking about doing is with our community, the horse racing today. You're familiar with like the what the hell is that called? MyRacehorse.com.
Yeah.
Where they have so we're thinking about putting together a collaborative where instead of getting fractional shares, people will get a percentage of like whatever you put in. So if we were to get enough money together, can we come to you and say, hey, John, we have this much money. We want to get a horse. Will you trade him for us? Absolutely,
man. What kind of question is that? You know, you come in here, you're gonna get what you get. You know, I mean, I'd be honored to train for you guys. Let's put it that way. It'd be fun. You know,
nice.
I like taking on new clients. Period. I like taking on young clients, new guys to the game, or whatever it is, and or people that want to experience a different level of the game. And mostly because I like to explain the game. I love sharing the knowledge that I have with owners. I share my knowledge with other trainers. You know, hey, it worked for me. Try doing this. You know, don't overtrain. We got a new anti-bleeding supplement, herbal supplement, to try this stuff. So, you know, I'm always willing to help anybody and anybody. So you guys are more than welcome to get some horses in here, because we got to get you guys in the winner's circle.
Well, what we want is one like Barber Road that ends up in the Kentucky Derby. That's got to be our first buy. It can't be the second or the 10th. It's got to be the first one, because we believe in coming out of the barn hot, baby. One thing I wanted to talk to you about is David Cabrera. We've had him on the show a couple times, and every time I see David Cabrera or on a video, or we've talked to him, and the last time we talked to him, he was on the phone, right? Because he was driving. Phone. Is that dude as happy all the time as he seems like he's with us, or what?
Listen, this guy, it was funny because I was talking about him this morning, and I said the same thing. You know, it's just like this guy is just so optimistic. It doesn't matter what you run. You can run dead last. You can win the race by a mile. He comes back and he's like, hey, Johnny, next time we're going to improve. We can do better. We're going to get him, but we're going to get him, boss. I was like, gosh, God, I love that energy, you know? And it's good because, you know, as a trainer, I mean, I want somebody that's optimistic, happy, go-getter. That's David Cabrera, you know? Again, you got somebody that loves his job. You know what I mean? You have somebody that's not worried about his paycheck coming in. He's doing this because he loves the horse. He loves the game. And you can tell that at any level, whether you win the Southwest or whatever. What did he win last? He won with the last stakes he just won. The Essex, yeah. You know, I mean, incredible. And then he's just as happy winning a $10,000 claimer in the same day. You know,
it's amazing.
And I tell a lot. I like to help a lot of young riders, and I tell this to, anybody that's like, you got to understand in this game or any game, don't chase the money. You don't want to chase the money because you're never going to have enough. You're going to get $10 here. You're going to want $15 tomorrow. You want $20 the next day. And then when you start seeing bigger money, more money coming in, I can get all that. That's when you start making mistakes because you're focused on money. Like, if you focus on winning, if you focus on what matters, the championships, Breeders' Cup, Kentucky Derby, whatever. If you're focused on all that, you're going to have to win to get there. So
absolutely,
the money will come with the success of you wanting to win. not wanting to get the check. And I think
I
that's
agree.
one big thing about David Cabrera. I think he's as happy as can be because he's not worried about a check. He's going out there to win.
I've told him when he's done, he'll have a great career replacing Tony Robbins.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Absolutely, I agree. So we're going to do a little bit. Hopefully, we're going to do a little bit of winning starting on Saturday with some of your horses, David. I mean, John. Sorry, I have David on the mind. So the first horse is going to be in race number 5, 6 furlongs. It's a $200,000 carousel stakes. I don't know what happened to Tom. Tom just disappeared, so maybe he had to go take care of a Mission Impossible, whatever they task. So this is a 6 furlong race at Oaklawn, which tends to favor speed, right?
Yes and no. The track has actually been very good this year. It's actually been played very fair. So, you got to take that into consideration this year. Normally, Oaklawn Park is known as a speed favoring track.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I think they're running a lot. It's a very fair track.
Been more fair this year. So you're going to run Noble Squall in here, who had just a blowout race last time out. Looking at the early pace numbers and the 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers, major improvement last time out. Are you expecting David to come off this horse happy as a winner?
Oh yeah, no, he knows that he does. I'm actually very optimistic about this race. It's one of my favorite races that I've been looking forward to all season, believe it or not. She's been one of the horses that I've been pointing towards this race, and I could not be happier that we actually got to this point doing it through the allowance level. Now, I could have gone into all the other prep races as well, but to me, there's nothing better than a happy horse. Just like a happy jockey, you got a happy horse that's confident. A jockey that's confident, you got a horse that's confident, you got a trainer that's confident. What else do you need here? I love that we're running against Frank's Rocket. I've run against her in the past, and I think she's a fantastic horse. And David absolutely fits this filly to a T. So
as far as the race is concerned, is Frank's Rocket the one to beat?
I hope, she's a champion horse. I think she's incredible. I think she's come over here before. She won the American Beauty in the past. She won the Saylorville Stakes, a stake that I won in the past with Honey Bunny. Well, actually, I think I might have run second. I ran second in that race. That
you can't say Honey Bunny to Terry, though.
That's what I call my wife.
You know what? I can't mention that name to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I got outshook on that horse, so I know that. It's a very good. I love that. That's a good claim.
Yeah, I bet it every time it runs because that's what I call my wife, Honey Bunny, and she calls me Honey.
I love it. I call my wife Honey Bunny too. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Terry, since you call your wife Honey Bunny and John calls his wife Honey Bunny, you might as well be the one that starts off with your picks today. So what do you like in this race here, Terry?
Well, as my top pick, I like number 6, Joy's Rocket. She ran in a grade 2 Raven Run, and she's having her 5th jockey change in a row. She's going with Jose Lascano, who may be able to get her to finish to the finish line first. She'll be closing to try and nip Frank's Rocket at the wire. And then I like second choice, number 2, Frank's Rocket, ran second in a grade 3 race and has taken a 3-month break after completing in a 4-race stretch without a win at 4 different tracks. And her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And she has a nice workout on March 27th. I think she needs a race first before she can be successful. And then number 4, Acting Out, is my third pick. Won her last race by going to the front and staying there until the end. She will not have as easy of a time as I think Frank Crockett will go with her and put a lot of pressure on her. And then I like number 3, Noble Squall, is another entry that will be closing along with Joy's Rocket to try and win the race. She has a really good trainer-jockey combination who in the last 14 days has won 4 out of 7 races, winning 2 of the races. In the money 4 out of 7 times, winning 2 of the races, and has an exceptionally good 4 furlong workout. So anything is possible in this race.
I agree. I think it's a pretty wide open race. Tom, welcome back, my friend.
Hello.
Did you complete your mission?
No, not really. I need new batteries for my battery backup. It's decided to give me the finger.
Well, that happens. That's happened to me too, mostly when I'm driving other drivers. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took number 5, Little Tootsie, is my top choice. Missed last out. It was for some of these horses. I think it went wide in the race and really just didn't finish. It needed the race. It's the favorite in the American Beauty and didn't get out of the starting gate. I like the change to James Graham. He's won on her before, and I think that'll help a lot. And Tom Amos and the two of them seem to do very well, especially at fairgrounds. I think he'll get the most out of her, get the most out of this horse by sitting off the lead. So the break is important. With this size of field, she should have clear running. It's just a matter of whether she can get there. 6, Joy's Rocket, my next choice. Missed last time out, missed before that. The biggest change here that for her is it's not that she can't run, it's that she maybe needed a new jockey, and Jose Lozcano will now take the mount, and that's a nice change. In the money, definitely, yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if she wins. Number 1, a Wildwood's Beauty is my final choice. First start of the year, she won. She looked pretty good, and then she ran some average races. She was in this race last year and moved a little too late to do anything. So there's plenty of speed in front of her. So we'll see how she runs. She likes to come a little bit. And I like the work of 47-4. I think that'll help her. The only negative to her to winning this race to me is that 6 furlongs is not her distance. And why they keep running her at it, I don't know. Won once and 4th. She's been 2nd 4 times and been 3rd 3 times. So in the money, yes. Winning, nope.
You better be careful with that in the money. Yes, winning, no. I did that today at Oaklawn, and the horse I said that would be in the money. Yes, win, no. Well, guess where it ended up.
It won.
It won easily.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. Anybody going to win this race easily?
Well, I agree with you. That's the kiss of death. Every time I do that, the same thing happens to me. So I went number 4, Acting Out.
Quick question, everybody.
Good.
Quick question. So for Sean, when we get to 1,000 YouTube, Twitter subscribers, John, Sean's going to do, I've changed it up. First, we were going to do a TikTok Tanton Speedos with flaming chainsaws. And Sean was like, nah. But I say, you know what? You have it when your hair's like this, you have an incredible resemblance to John Belushi. From right? So because he got that John Belushi look to him, have you ever seen a Saturday Night Live skit where John Belushi's like in a deli with a samurai sword and they're like throwing meat and stuff at him? I know you know what I'm talking about.
I feel like I've seen it. I couldn't remember it, but yeah.
So we're gonna do either A, the flaming chainsaws in a Speedo, or the John Belushi reenactment. Which one would you go for? We're gonna let you decide which one is he gonna do.
Well, we'll do the samurai sword one. I think that's the one we got to do, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Sean is grateful because
Listen, I'm a little afraid of this whole chainsaw and fire going on.
Well, the Speedo is what to be afraid of.
Yeah, that was afraid of the Speedo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So was the universe.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, we're afraid of the Speedo, but go ahead with your picks.
So I got number 4, Acting Out. Came back after a 7-month layoff and wired a field that included the 2nd and 3rd morning line choice in this field. Should be the leader again. There is some speed in this field, but I think this is the speed of the speed. It's finishing the exact in 4 of 6 career races on the dirt and 3 of 4 at the distance. I went Frank Roquettes for 2nd. The 3-month layoff was the concern, so I went against him. Has faced a lot better competition in this field, and if she's ready to go, she's going to win this race. Number 6, Joy's Rocket for 3rd, because this is that horse, and I won't say it, is that jinx that kind of like what Tom said. May get the run of the race, though, being on the outside and having pace to run into. Has finished in the exact in 5 of 6 career races on a fast dirt track. The issue with this horse is you can't take this short price that hasn't won a race since 2020.
Yeah, you can't take those short prices for sure. I'm learning that from our man Tom. So I look at this spot here. I'm going to go with Little Tootsie. I think this horse will improve in its 2nd start off the bench and popped a strong, like off the charts late pace number for her. Actually, the best ever in her last race. I like to see those horses that show some late improvement. It tells me they got interested, and a lot of times it carries over to the next race. Frank's Rocket is probably the class in here. probably should be rated first. But if you look back at the most recent run of first starts after a layoff, she keeps continuing to fall a little short, and that distance continues to grow from the leader in that first off. I do agree. Probably next time out is the time to put Frank's Rocket on the top. And then I like John's horse, Novel Squad. The reason I like this horse is because last time out, I'm a big fan of horses that run faster 2 furlong pace numbers, and especially 4 furlong pace numbers in a 6 furlong race, because that is the turn. And all the old timers will tell you, pay attention to the turn, pay attention to the turn, pay attention to the turn. I saw that the faster fractions, third time off a layoff, and finished strong last time out. So I'm expecting a similar race out of that. And like I said, I think David's always got a really great attitude. So I'm expecting him to be very happy and get the most out of this horse.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Our next spot tonight is race number 11. This one is let me pull it up. This one is an optional claiming $50,000 for a purse of $106,000. And I don't think, John, there's a trainer in the country who's won more $100,000 purses than you this year, right?
Shoot, I don't know. You better pull that stat up, because if it is, I'm going to hang that up on the wall, because that sounds pretty amazing.
I think I read that there's no trainer in the country that has more $100,000 purses so far than you. So maybe I got that wrong, but if not, what the hell? We'll go with it tonight, right?
Listen, I'll take it. Why not? No, listen, I don't check on stats. I don't Google myself. I just go ahead and do my job. So when you tell me if it's true, that's very impressive, and I'm very proud of that. So
that's why I called you Big Money John at the beginning of the show, man.
So I get it.
So in this race, you have Garho, a horse that you mentioned early on at the in the intro. I like the way this horse has been running. Last 4 races at Oaklawn Park, there hasn't been another horse within the same zip code. Do you think that'll be the same today on Saturday?
Yeah, talking about Garho, you gotta understand. There's a little bit of a couple of letters next to his name, the AR. So it's he's an Archibred. So immediately people are going to think, well, he's an Archibred. We're going to think a little less than he can't compete open company. Right now is our first shot that we're going to give him to compete in open company against, a couple of good horses in here. But you know what? This horse has yet to be challenged in the afternoon. He's a great horse, very simple in the mornings, trains, he's on the muscle, but never does too much. Easy to train. We got very good connections here as well. So and not to mention, he's my first Oaklawn Stakes winner. So, when that day he won, I told Ricardo, please make sure, he hasn't been tested yet. But if I'm going to take him further than Arkansas, when you win the stakes races, I want you to just push the gas, and I want you to have this horse running across the wire. And he sure did. And I believe he broke the track record for the stakes race that day. And also we accomplished one of our milestones, which was our first stakes race. So, yes, those horses in that stakes race in the no double, they were pretty competitive horses. We're not talking about just simple, Archibreds. I mean, these horses run open company. They've proven that they belong in the race that they were in. And for us with Garho, I think we're proving that we belong in open company. So we're going to go ahead and test him tonight on Saturday. And you know what? I'm absolutely optimistic about him. I'm just thinking he's pretty much my livest bet for sure.
So quick question for you, in case there's some new folks watching that are new to horse racing. You said on the muscle. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so when I say a horse is on the muscle, that means that they're the game. They're flexing, they're pulling on you. You're full of energy. You got a horse that's just ready to work out. So it's a horse that's ready, pretty much. Is what you say.
So he's pumped and ready to go. So aside of your horse, who do you think is the competition in here?
Steve Asmussen's horse. Hold on, sorry guys.
Well, any horse that he has is going to be competitive.
For sure. And I love competing against Steve. He's a great mentor. I never really worked for him too much. We kind of got together and kind of started talking a little bit more when I started training, because me, I'm talkative, as you can tell. So I walk up to anybody and say, hey, give me an advice. Hey, what are you doing? So Steve's been really cool with me from the very beginning of my career. And so I always love competing against him.
And he had you singing Sinatra on the way home one night, right?
How?
I said he had you singing Sinatra one night on
pretty
that
much.
9.5 hour ride
I
home.
mean, I just drove home. I was like, "You're right. I'm just gonna just absolutely
Do it my way. So
he
let's
gave me
let's
good
let's
advice.
let's hear a verse.
Oh, come on,
Come on, let's go now.
I had spicy food for dinner tonight, so my throat's a little.
All right.
All right.
All right. We'll let you slide this time, but next time you know what you're in for.
Oh yeah, I'll be ready. I'll make sure I drink a little bottle of water and.
You might need a bottle of something else if you're going to sing for everybody. Yes.
No, but I do believe Steve's horse here is actually a very competitive horse. I mean, you look at his numbers; he's shown a speed very early on. I mean, I think he's a tough competition. But again, my horse is no different. He's right there, but he's never been tested. This is all him under his own will. So I think Ricardo's ready to prove something with this horse. I think I'm ready to prove something. I think the horse is ready to prove where he belongs. So I'm very optimistic about this race.
Are you optimistic about his chances, Tom?
Yes, I am. That's my top choice. I was really impressed with the last race out. He came out of the 9-hole. He pressed the pace and won by 5. I can't ask for much more. He's definitely the hot horse in this race, and with his starts at Oaklawn, he definitely has a home field advantage over some of these. And his first time against open company, but the speed and pace numbers match up very nicely with any of these horses. He's got a 47-3 breezing work, which looks like he's getting what he needs out of it. And let's see if he can get it done. I took number 11, Supremacy is my next choice. Didn't break well last time out. I just found his best stride late, but it was too late. He's had a better effort at the fairgrounds where he sat closer to the pace and chased, but didn't finish. And he was the favorite in that race. He appears to be a very slow developing horse because they spaced his races way apart. So they obviously know what they're dealing with, and they're going to do what they have to win. And right jockey-trainer combination, so let's see what they can do. One, Storm the Court, huge class drop here. Not sure why Peter Yerton shipped him into Oaklawn or with Flavian Pratt to arrive, but yeah, got to go someplace, I guess. He hasn't been in the money for a while. I mean, in the win circle for a while, and he's debuting for the first time at 6 furlongs. He's never run this short of a race. The works are okay, but really nothing special. He's either going to be an overbet favorite and he's going to do absolutely nothing, or he'll win the race.
Probably, I think that's probably the case too. Sean, do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I have him out of the top 3. I went number 5 Garhole as well. 1-4-5, all 4 consecutive wins have been dominant. Only bad race was on debut, and that was a muddy track, so maybe just didn't like the bud. I can't fault him. I'm going to take the chance that he'll enjoy the open company here. I did go to Steve Rasmussen horse for second. Number 8 Macron has speed and can be close to the pace, but did show a different dimension last time out, closing from almost last to finish second. Same tactic here may work since there's a bunch of speed. Has finished in the exact in 6 of 9 career races. And then I went number 11, Supremacy, another that has speed, but has shown a dimension of being able to close. This is his 3rd race since the 8-month layoff. The first 2 races back, he had trouble starts. So if he can clear that up, I think he'll be there. And then my question for John on Garhole is this horse debuted last January in the muddy track, didn't finish very well, and then had a long layoff till December. Can you tell us what happened there? And
yeah, so basically, we picked him up in the summer of that year, or what is it, of last year. And, I told Mr. John Anthony, it's actually one of the first horses that I picked up for Mr. John Anthony. And I mean, I was blown away. The horse looks fantastic. He looks like a racehorse. I mean, he was big and didn't look like an Archibred. And once we started training him, I was like, he doesn't train like an Archibred. I was like, this is a real horse. So we were really excited. We were very patient to get him started. So what happened, he was intact at the time. So he had both his testicles. And that day, he's a very headstrong horse. He's just always on muscle. He's just too much. And that day, if you watch, I think he broke in front and just kind of just went as fast as he could for as far as he could. And he didn't finish the race. And I was very disappointed in that. But after the race, we came back and assessed him. And he had one of his testicles actually ascended. I don't know if it was right before, during, or after the race. So that's pretty uncomfortable. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would stop running.
I'm not interested in that.
So I'm just thinking we decided to go ahead and do get him gelded, give him the time off over the summer because we don't really need him in training in Kentucky when he's an Arkansas bred. So we gave him the time off. Mr. John Anthony was very patient with us, and John Gasper, he's the manager, he's helped me manage him as well very nicely and steadily, and we got him in at the right time. So it was more of he had a situation that day that he didn't really run. I don't think he cares much for the mud or whatever surface he's running on. He's a fast horse now, just a fast horse.
Terry, do you think that fast horse is going to come home fixed or not fixed?
I absolutely do. I absolutely love Garhole. Has one. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be coming. I'm sorry, John. We jinxed the hell out of you today because it's going to be 4 for 4.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
I like the support. There's no jinxing.
Yeah.
This is support.
Well, this horse has won 4 races in a row at today's distance easily and has the highest last race speed rating and has the high percentage winning trainer, John Ortiz. Unless there's a problem with traffic during this race, I can't imagine this horse losing.
Man, Terry is really jinxing you. He's putting the mojo on you for sure, Terry. What did I tell you about those words?
Well, he'll come up. He will come from off the pace and pass all the front runners. Then number 6, absolutely chaos, will go to the lead and try to lead all the way for the win, but Garhole will pass him coming down the stretch. Number 1, Storm the Court comes in from Southern California after taking off for more than a year. He has a good workout on March 14th, 59.4, second best out of 50, and drops in class today after running in nothing but graded stakes races last year. He will pressure absolute chaos for the lead, but I think he needs a race to carry his speed for the win. And then number 8, Mekon, has finished in the money in his last 5 races at Oaklawn Park, winning 2 of the races. If he gets a good start, he will run just behind the pace and close at the end, but I don't think he'll make it. I think he'll come up short.
So I am going to go look at this race like this. I think Garhole and Macron, it's a toss-up just on paper, but if you dig a little bit deeper, I like John's horse as well. So that's 5 out of 5. Hopefully we didn't just do like the Ghostbusters and accidentally cross streams, but I'm giving you the edge because your horse did improve nicely in its last race in the early part in 2 and 4 furlong numbers. And since then it's had 2 excellent workouts. So improved in the race, and then it carried that improvement off into the workouts. And I really like to see that because that's telling me that the horse didn't have to work overly hard in the race, that it's able to keep its form. Supremacy, I think, is one that'll be rolling late, but needs to get off to a clean start, something Sean mentions it's struggled to do of lately. And you got to have Storm the Court in your picks because it's just run at such a higher level against different, and has the back class. But that time off for more than a year and then coming back where it's coming back, all that stuff makes, the spidey sense tingle a little bit. So if he's ready, he could be ready to go. I have a feeling, though, this one might be a little bit rusty in this race. This isn't really the race that they're targeting. It's the next one. They just don't want to get him claimed. And if he happens to collect some money, he pays some bills going forward. That's the way I see it for Storm the Court. And then finally, this is the one that you're looking forward to. We're all looking forward to. It is the Arkansas Derby, a grade 1 Barber Road right now. If I look at the Kentucky Derby points, there you are in 18th place or 20th place right now. So you would be qualified right now. But with that money right there, that $339,000, any points today is going to vault you up into the category there, into the standings, and likely send you off to Churchill Downs the first Saturday in May. What's going to happen? I got a question for you in this race. So early on, now every race I do like this pace stuff where you take a look at like all the different horses, kind of looks like this, looks kind of like chicken scratch. But in any case, when I look at this race, it doesn't seem to me, and Sean's probably going to disagree with me and say it got the 20th fastest horses he's ever seen in this race, but I don't see a lot that really like to get to the front. And your horse has a history of getting to the front, and you're smiling already. So that tells me maybe we're going to see something a little different on Saturday.
Well, you know what? I hope so. But, I was going over this race, and actually agree with you on the thing, and like I looked at it at certain different platforms. Thorough Manager, Brisnet. Trying to. This is probably one of the hardest. One of the races I've handicapped the hardest, and I personally don't like to over handicap my own races because I don't want to overthink it. I know where I'm at. I look at where the horses are going to go. Who's got a speed? Who's got this? Who's got that? And my instructions to the jock is I give him an idea of what the horse is. I try not to give too much. Break, settle, win. Simple, right? But after looking at this race, there's a lot of horses that look like they need to be up close. But if you look at their early speeds, I agree. I think it's something very moderate. I don't see any blazing 100s out in the front. Obviously, I think Bruda. What is it?
Kavad looks to me like
Kavad's got to go. He's got to be up there. He's one that's shown real speed early on in past races. I don't know, in the last race you really didn't see it, but he was up in front. I don't think the pace was as demanding. Also, the track was a little different. We went to a very muddy track like instantly in less than 10 minutes since we walked out into the paddock from the paddock. So I think I'm going to be a little bit closer. And if you looked at my Barber Road's last race, he actually broke pretty well, but settled in for 6 lanes in 9th place. But then when he got to the backside, he was only about 3 lanes from the leaders. I'm expecting to see the same kind of concept, except you're going to see a lot more horses trying to go because I think I'm expecting trainers and jockeys to send, I have a speed horse, I got a speed horse, we got to go push Kavad. And the filly, I think she's also going to be up there somewhere close. I don't know if she's going to be handling all the pressure she might end up getting from the boys. But, I like to see myself sitting in the second flight of horses there, right off of them, maybe 3 to 4 lanes at most. Raylu already understands the situation. He agrees with me. I don't know. I don't think there's serious pace, but I think they will make pace in this race, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I think a lot of folks are going to look at it and see the same thing I see and you see and say there's not a lot of pace. Maybe we can get up in front and steal this one with moderate fractions. What say you, Sean?
Yeah, so I agree with you on the pace. I have the rail horse getting the lead. There's some stalkers.
I lost you for a minute.
That's okay. We're still with you. Fire away, Sean. Keep going.
Okay. So, yeah, I like the rail horse to get the lead, but I don't think she's going to go on, or he's going to go on with it. There'll be some stalkers. I'm going with the filly here, Secret Oath. Just been dominant since getting to Oaklawn and getting Luis Contreras aboard, winning all 3 of her races by more than 7 lengths. We've never gone this distance, but the way she looks at the end of the race, she just looks loaded and once more. Has the 2 highest buyer numbers in the field with a 92 and 93. And then I went Oho for second. Has been on top of his game, finishing in the exact last 3 starts, despite being high odds. This horse keeps getting doubted and keeps answering the doubters. Won the Rebel at 75 to 1 and has worked out well since and should be there again. And then I went the outside horse, number 9, We the People. Has done nothing wrong, winning his first 2 career starts, both by more than 5 lengths. They were both at Oaklawn as well. Will get his first big test, but should get a nice trip from the outside and be close to the pace setter. This is another one that could show some speed.
And then for you, Terry.
Yeah, I like the filly, number 6, Secret Oath. Won the G3 Honeybee by a large 7.5 lengths and is trained by the coach, Dwayne Lucas. She is going against the boys, but I think she'll have no problems as she has won 4 out of her 6 races in her career, and all of them by several lengths, and is perfect at Oaklawn Park. She will just bide her time until they turn into the stretch and then close like a freight train to win the race. Then I like number 9, We the People. This horse does not know what it feels like to lose a race yet, but he has won both of his career races easily and has a good 4 furlong workout on March 26, 47.4 breezing, 3rd best out of 94. He moves up in class from his last start, and it may cause him to learn what it is to lose a race. He will be setting close to the speed to close and try to win. Then I like number 3, Barber Road. Ran third in the G3 Rebel, closing from deep to only lose by half a length, and has a high percentage winning trainer, John Ortiz. And he now extends out to 1 1/8 miles, which may be just what he needs to catch the leaders. Then I like number 4, Doppelganger. Ganger it's another horse coming from Southern California after running second in the Grade 3 San Felipe after getting off to a slow start. He has several great workouts in preparation for this race and is another that will be closing at the end, but I think he'll come up a little short.
All right, Thomas, who's not going to come up short in your view?
I'm taking number 8, Cyberknife, as my top choice. Last out favorite, won an allowance race at Fairgrounds. I think he got a lot out of that race, and I think he needed it too. So are they aggressively placing this horse in this race? Maybe, but I think it fits right in here with this group. I tossed the Lacombe. I made a move, but didn't finish, and that's about all I can say about that. And the maiden races are interesting because it was DQ'd in its first race, and they removed the blinkers, and then it finished second and then won. So a little bit of development still going on with this horse. Could be on the lead, could be closer to the lead. We'll see. Everything says just fine on in terms of the breeding. The sire, of course, was a distance runner, and the mare was really a workhorse. We saw her run on the 60 sales up here not at Arlington, at Hawthorne, and she had 11 wins in her career, so she's pretty good mare. Secret Oath is my next choice. You guys have talked about a lot of the stuff I was going to talk about, so I'm going to move on to. It's been 38 years since D-Wayne Lucas won the Arkansas Derby. Do you know the name of the horse?
No. 38 years ago. I don't know.
I actually was there that day, so that's how I know.
So that's unfair. All right, Tom, go ahead. You made us all look silly.
Well, it was
ahead.
Althea, and interesting with Althea was because she ran the fantasy and won that, and then they re-entered her into this race, and she won this one.
It was like 2 weeks difference, right?
2 weeks difference.
weeks
Well, a
apart.
week
Yeah.
was
A
really
week or
probably
so.
more.
Yeah, it was a week
because they used to
before.
run the fantasy. It was the weekend before. It was this Festival of South Racing.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see that it's been a long time since he's had really top horses, but this one's an interesting one because obviously the sire is a Triple Crown winner, so that's not so bad. The mare really was a good horse. She was 35 starts. She was a stakes winner. She ran twice in the Muddy twice in the Apple Blossom. So she was definitely a course for this course. Also, her siblings have won at Oaklawn, and the better of the bunch is Sarah, who won a couple times here. And the owners are local. This is one of their places they like to be, and I think that's why she's in here, and they're really going to be trying big time here.
Charles says Cyberknife.
Kavat, he's got the rail. I think that's an advantage. The comment I liked about it was that he in the lines was he was stubborn by giving way. So, he may have just needed a little more tightener. And if he can steal it on the front end with Mitchell Merle up, it could be interesting. I also like that mud work since. A minute in the mud, freezing. That's pretty good. And then a slow maintenance work with that. Let's face it, John, if you claimed this horse for $50,000, would you thought you got a pretty good deal?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah,
I mean, it's taking you where you
won a
need to be.
stakes race and it's finished fourth 3 times, so it's paying its bills. So I'm going to throw it in there.
No,
So-
he's all right.
If we buy a horse, I think we just decided on its name, A Minute in the Mud. It's a great name for a
Minute
horse,
in the
I
Mud,
think.
I like that. That's a
Yes,
really good
indeed.
one. It's hard to get horses named nowadays.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But A Minute in the Mud works. A nice little alliteration, and it has a lot to do with horse racing. So, all right. So this is a big day for John. So the question is, will he get the points needed to get into the Kentucky Derby? Let's see. I like We the People as a top horse, as I mentioned. Not a lot of pace here. Going to be forwardly placed. Probably going to get to run comfortable fractions. Terry, you said it doesn't know how to lose. It's not going to really be pressured, I don't think. So it can't have the race its way. I like the filly too. Secret Oath likes to run in the mid pack and then make its move late. Just about every other horse has that same running pattern in here, so I do worry about traffic. I do worry about the pace. And if it gets a little bumpy back there, you get blocked in, could be a tough road. And then you're coming in at least third or maybe better, John, with Barber Road. Those late pace numbers in that last race were off the chart. That was at 1 mile and a 16th. You add another 16th to the Rebel Stakes. We're not talking about Un Ojo as the winner. We're talking about Barber Road being the winner. It's gobbling up ground late. That extra 16th is going to be more than enough. And then finally, I do like Kavad getting away with some early pace. Maybe has a chance to steal this race up on the front, though that one was at 1 mile and a 16th, and it really backed up badly. So I don't know that he'll have the legs late to carry the speed from beginning to end, especially if there's any pressure on the horse at all. That wraps up our picks. Let me ask you a question, John. One, you get the points that you need to qualify for the Kentucky Derby. What's the celebration plan afterwards?
You know what? My wife and my youngest son here are visiting here in Hot Springs. So as soon as we're done, I'm gonna celebrate with hugging my family first. You know,
Good way.
I haven't had them. They don't come down often enough for the races, and having them here. They came out last weekend, and now they're here for this opportunity, this experience. I'm just gonna be grateful. I mean, I'm already grateful. Like, I can't ask for the horse to do anything more than he's already doing. He's already taken us on our trip. He's a maiden 30 that's shown ability to improve and learn, and he's still young at heart. So whatever he does from here on out, I'm telling you, it's worth celebrating. Now I'd like to go to the Kentucky Derby with a win or a very close second. You know what I mean? But I'm going for the win. I'm not going to go for points.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go for a win. There's nothing more important than having a horse confident by winning, and points. You know, he doesn't know what points are. He's not going to be confident on points. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
We're going for the win. And again, I agree with you. The distance is exactly what we've been looking for. And if you know, for any of your viewers or you guys yourselves, take a look at the replays and watch every single one of his races, even starting down at Colonial Downs. Watch his gallop outs. He's always about a pole in front of everybody when he gallops out. Always passes the winners. So I think the distance, 1 1/8, might just be enough for him. But who knows? Maybe the 1 1/4 is exactly the distance he needs.
Well, we certainly hope 1 1/8 is the distance he needs on Saturday. And that first Saturday in May, 1 1/4 is the distance he needs.
We're working for it. Yep.
Yes, indeed. Well, we certainly appreciated your time tonight. It was had an excellent time tonight. Our pleasure to have you, or the other way around. I'm not sure.
No, thank you for having me. No, this is fun. It's a good experience for me, and I love hanging out with you guys. Obviously, this is very, very much fun.
So we're definitely thinking about putting together a horse. I wasn't kidding about that, and we're looking into like the legal side of it so that we don't get in any trouble, because we don't want to do any of that. But once we get that all squared up, we'll definitely be back in contact with you. And in the meantime, if anybody else has a horse or has I want to buy a horse type of money and wants to do it with a trainer like yourself who's able to find good value horse, like you said, maiden 30, just a race away maybe from the Kentucky Derby, how should they contact you?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'll give you my phone number, 859-396-4128. We're all over Twitter. We're all over Facebook, Instagram. So feel free to drop us a line, a DM down there. Comments. We do a lot of Facebook, posting. My sister does a fantastic job with running that for me. She's very creative, and she does make these very awesome win videos. So when you win with us, you don't just get a win photo, you get an experience. You get to experience your horse winning. You get a video. We like to communicate a lot with our owners, with all our clients, and keep them involved. And, this is a game at the end of the day. We want everybody to experience that fun of being in a game, in a sport. And, when you're playing a sport, you're in it to win it.
So here's what we're going to do then, too. Since we're in it to win it, and we all want to have the experience when you're in the Kentucky Derby, maybe we'll make plans to show up there. When you're in the winner's circle, we get to come in, too.
Yeah, I mean, of course. You kidding me? Absolutely. I need as many people. I don't know if I know enough people getting the winner's circle yet. I've seen those big pictures. Yeah, we might have to fill it up a little bit.
Yeah, that would be fun. We'll definitely be into that, because then we could, that would really put a punctuation, because on the end of our shows, we had a gentleman by the name Jay Mark who's been with us forever, and he would say, "See you in the winner's circle." So at the end of every show, Terry says, "We'll see you in the winner's circle." So we can say, "Hey, we saw you in the Kentucky Derby winning circle."
In the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. I guess we would have to shut down the show after that, because that would be the pinnacle.
We were in the winner's circle. There you go.
All right. Tomorrow, Tom and I will be back to discuss the leopard town, as you see, in Ireland. Again, if any, that 6 degrees of separation, anybody watching who knows Conor McGregor, loves those Irish races, we'd love to have him as a guest. So please reach out to the UFC champ there. And then Terry and I will be back on Saturday to cover the big races over at Gulfstream Park, including the Florida Derby. So you're going to want to tune in and check that out. As always, folks, it's fun. Thank you for joining us, John. You've been a wonderful guest. Greatly appreciate your time tonight. Yeah. We look forward to you having a lot of success and being back a lot of times in the future. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Thanks.
Happy to be here, guys.
Thanks, John.
Everybody have a fantastic weekend. May all your picks, Terry, end up in the
winner circle.
Yes, have a great weekend, everybody.